with my life? Est-ce que je suis contente? Bin ich glücklich? Rengoshingma? This is the question Stephen Chung asked himself this morning after getting up. Stephen Chung is a very tall, handsome man like Balal. He is very smart and has a good heart like Andy. He has a beautiful wife like Amy. 2 children. He's well educated, studied something with finance or so. Has a great job as a director in a huge bank, a Chinese bank. He drives a Porsche. He lives the perfect life, right? And still, something seems to be missing. Or this morning again, he asked himself, why am I still not happy? And he remembers how his parents told him when he was young, first of all, and he can really still hear it in his ear. First of all, you have to become successful, which means get a good career, work hard in school, get good grades, study something like finance, IT, where you can get a lot of money in the future. Become successful. Because once you are successful, then in the future, you will become happy or content, right? Has any one of you heard this before from their parents as well? So he asked himself, why am I still not be happy? Maybe you know some people who have asked themselves the same questions. Maybe even someone of you has asked himself this question one day or many times before. Well, let's be honest. Stephen, he hates his job. Who cares about finance? Yeah, it's important, but he hates it. He never liked finance or numbers. He always was interested in arts, in design. He's actually quite a creative person, not like a very analytical person, although he became really good in what he does. And to be honest, he works so much. He has to go on business travels all the time. He cannot even spend time with his 2 children. And, well, it just happened that when he was young, of course, he met this beautiful lady. And at one point, his parents forced him in order to be happy and be successful. Well, you should marry her now. You have an apartment, you have a car, you have a great job. Marry her and get some kids because you want to be happy in life. Every parent wants their children to be happy, I guess. But he doesn't love his wife anymore. So many things that make him question himself, his life, all these questions where he doesn't have answers. Is he really happy? So today, I would like to share some secret to happiness with you. There's a lot of secrets to how to be happy. And first of all, the question is, what is happiness? Earlier at dinner, we spoke about, what is your definition of happiness, Amy? Lincoln, what is your definition of happiness? Do you have the same definition as Amy because you're Chinese and I have a different definition because I'm German? There's so many definitions to happiness and everyone has an individual definition of it, no matter if you come from the same culture, the same city, etc. But there's a lot of science actually behind happiness. So, for example, in the US, business students, they study courses about positive psychology. And even neuroscience biology found out a lot about happiness. Also the relationship between happiness and success, for example. And as I said, today I only share 3 secrets with you. But I would like to make you think tonight. If I can make at least some of you think, you don't have to agree with what I say or what maybe statistics or research found out. But at least I want to make you think, question your life, question yourself how you raise your children. Your relationship, we also spoke about happy relationships relationships with our bosses, friends, family. Question your relationship. Just ask yourself W questions. And I want to make you think about it. So secret number 1 to happiness is, as I just said, we think if we become successful and make a lot of money, then in the future we're gonna be really happy. But the research of happiness actually found out, oh my gosh, it's the other way around. Which means like, no matter if you're like rich, if you're poor, if you live in a city, if you live on the countryside, if you, every one of you, if you are already happy now, right here, right now, I'm not speaking about what happened to you in the past, what's gonna happen in the future. If you are happy here right now, then the chances that you become successful in the future are even higher. And I speak about what research found out. It's not something like I just came up with randomly. So keep this in mind. And again, who of you is like a parent? Raise your hand. Okay, so keep this in mind. Think about it. What is your opinion on this? Secret number 2. And we heard this in so many topics and speeches tonight. I was really like impressed, whether it was Sabrina or Amber, again and again. Actually, every one of them kind of mentioned it secret many times. It is called self-awareness. So Amber, she spoke about leadership styles and her bosses and what actually she learned in her relationships with her bosses, that she did not only learn about these bosses or the company, but what she learned about herself. And I can only tell you, like, the past 7 years I worked for a very big IT company. I was happy with this company, etc., until I decided to end up in China and suddenly culture shock, different situations, new opportunities. I started to discover myself more, and I knew my strengths before. I still know some of my weaknesses. I thought I knew what I'm passionate about, like salsa dancing, but actually I found out about so many new things that I'm passionate about and what I'm good at. I discovered myself in a different environment, like completely new. Of course it was challenging, and I cried, I was aggressive, had other like negative and positive emotions while I went out of my comfort zone and jumped into the cold water to come to China. How crazy is that? But I can only tell you, it is worth it to go on this quite stony way to discover yourself. Who are you? What makes you happy? Like, what are my values? And like just recently, because of that relationship to this one like boss, I discovered fairness is one of my biggest values. I was not aware of that. And it changes how I make decisions now. And okay, so we spoke about strengths, we spoke about what makes you happy, like your values. And there's just so many questions that you should question yourself in order to make good decisions. And no matter if you are 10 years old, or I'm 26 now, or you are 40 or 50 or 70, it is never too late to discover yourself, because we also go through different life phases. We change jobs, once we marry and get kids, probably, I guess some of your lives have changed. I haven't been there yet, but hey, life is exciting. It is great to grow and to really get to know ourselves. Do you actually know who you are? Because I spoke with many people, not only in China, also when I lived in US, Finland, or Germany. And there's so many people, they just don't really know themselves, or they follow what their parents do, like Stephen Chung. It was their parents who said, or someone said it was about chemical tonight. He was supposed to go to a chemical university because his parents, his family went there. This would have been the best for him. But he said, no, there's a different path in his life. Right? And at the end, last but not least, it's also about, third secret, self-esteem. Which means, do you love yourself? You cannot expect anyone else to love you, even if you're married, if you do not love yourself. It's really about you, your relationship to yourself. I know in China it's about the community a lot. I know I'm from Germany, we're more individual. But it doesn't matter. You have to be selfish sometimes. Take care of yourself. Love yourself. Do something good for you. You deserve it. If you're in balance, if you love yourself, if you're confident, then you can better raise your children. For example, and this is psychology now, if you're a mom and you have a daughter, if you're not self-confident and happy with your life, how do you want to raise a daughter and make her become a strong woman for this hard world and want her to become self-confident? First of all, it is about you. And as I said, no matter what your age is. So let's remember 3 secrets for tonight. Happiness versus success. Be happy, then you can become more successful. Number 2, self-awareness. And number 3, self-esteem. Because everything we do, and also success, is built up on the basis, which is the mindset, like positive thinking, handling our emotions. It's also about really like our self-love and our self-confidence if we want to conquer this world. So I can only tell you, yes, I threw myself out of the water, out of the comfort zone in the cold water and decided, well, it's just logical and rational to go to China now to discover, even if the culture is kind of different. And now in September, I would have supposed to have like a really great management position for HP, like maybe even would have moved to Singapore. And suddenly I quit my job, finished my master's degree. I'm like self-employed. I changed like my whole life. I'm not even going back to Germany because I want to stay in China. This is crazy. This was not my plan. But I can only tell you, oh my gosh, here in Suzhou, Shanghai, I'm so happy. And you know what? I can be like completely like authentic and me with all my edges and like just the way how I speak, how I behave, and it feels so good to just be me, that people accept me, that I kind of like get to know amazing people, that I attract them in my life, and I build up this new exciting life. And it's challenging, yes, but it is amazing. It's just wow. So I want to ask you again, and not only Stephen Chung who asked himself this. Are you content? Are you happy with the life you live? If not, then make a change. It is never too late. Whether it's your job, it's about your marriage, it's about your children, how you raise them, about the friends, about anything else. And my mission is really, because I found my purpose in life here in China, and I told myself I want to make an impact. If I can make you think and like positively like make an impact and influence in your life, then I'm even more happy tonight. Because I'm here to make people happier and change the way, also not only how we live our life, but also how we do business. Thank you very much for listening to me, and have a great evening.